Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Protein Challenge Day 2. So just let me know in the Facebook group how you guys are doing. Let me know how did day 1 go. I think, some people are definitely hitting their 100 plus grams of protein. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what challenges you might have. And then we as a group can help you to figure out those challenges and support you in your goals. So today we're going to talk about just briefly on how much protein do we really need. Now this could also be considered like one of the myth questions, but we're going to not do this one as a myth, but we're going to just give you some science-based facts so you guys have that information moving forward. So I'm going to start with what does the US at least what does the US government say? U.S. government says we need zero point 0.8 grams per kilogram of protein per day to meet our healthy body, all the things, that our body needs protein for, all the cellular processes that our body just needs to be healthy and function. So point blank, 0 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. That's just for the average person. Now, if some of you guys are just starting off into endurance sports, maybe you're not training very much, that number can work. I still would actually say it's low. But once you're training for endurance sports, once you guys are lifting heavy, once you guys are doing things that would require more energy, just needing more protein, that's when we have to increase our protein amount. So if the RDI, the recommended daily intake, is 0 0.8 grams per kilogram, I want endurance athletes to nearly double it. So my goal for most endurance athletes is gonna be around 1.5 grams per kilogram per day. Now there's a range. It starts at 1.2. That's pretty much like the lowest I want all endurance athletes to be at, and it goes up to 2 grams per kilogram per day. Now you might be thinking, wow, 2 grams per kilogram per day sounds like a lot. And for some people it might be, for others they hit it every day. So it's really not, it's kind of just depends on where you've been with your nutrition and what your goals are. So let's break down these numbers a little bit. If you're a plant-based athlete, it can be harder to hit your protein goals just because you're not eating the meat, kind of dairy meats, the things that are going to be much higher in protein just because they're animal products. So starting at the 1.2 grams per kilogram per day for our plant-based athletes, because you're still able to get in those 100 grams of protein a day, it's just a little bit more challenging. So first, to calculate your weight in kilograms for all the US athletes, all of the athletes that use metrics in their country, you're fine with this, but to calculate from pounds to kilograms, you're going to take your body weight divided by 2.2. So just easy math, if you're a 220 pound athlete, you're 100 kilograms. Easy peasy math. And I think I always use 150 pounds is around 67, 68 kilograms. So it's just easy. That's easy math for me. Ask me what 154 is, and I couldn't tell you, but so let's just say take your weight divided by 2.2. That's your weight in kilograms. Lowest end 1.2, high end 2.0. So if you're a plant-based athlete, my goal is to hit that 1.2 grams per kilogram. So go ahead and multiply that number for you, or multiply it for yourself, and then figure out where, what your daily, it might be even less than 100, but for this challenge it's going to be 100. It could be 110, 120. Figure that out. For most athletes, it's going to be 1.5 grams per kilogram per day. And then for athletes there's two types. So ones that are in a very heavy training load where they're doing a lot of heavy lifting. So maybe you're out of season, maybe you're focusing on a cycling build and you're focusing on power and strength on the bike. Maybe you're a triathlete and you're focusing on heavy strength in the off season, or you're a runner and you're doing a lot of hills, a lot of strength in the gym, plyometrics, things like that. The things that are going to break down your muscles that really are higher intense. And those athletes that are shooting for body composition changes. So whether you're lifting heavy in the gym, whether you're doing a heavy, intense sessions on the bike, on the run, swimming, not so much, but heavy intense sessions on the bike and the run, or you're trying to manipulate body composition. So if your goal is fat loss, your goal is gaining muscle, this is where that 2 grams per kilogram per day comes in. Now, if we use my easy math of the 220 pound person or the 100 kilogram person times 2, that's going to be 200 grams of protein a day. So nearly double what this challenge is actually asking. That's when you have to be very intentional about your protein intake. Or if you're someone who's lighter, and let's just say you're 60 kilograms, that's easy math, that's 120 grams of protein. So that just kind of shows you protein is determined by how much our mass is right now, how much we weigh, and what are our goals. Is your goals, health and wellness, and you're a plant-based athlete? Is it endurance sports, but you're focused on body composition? So that's kind of the range. Remember, you guys, just because the government may say 0.8 grams per kilogram per day, that does not mean that's what endurance athletes, strength athletes shooting for body composition, that is not what you should be shooting for. You should be shooting for that 1.2 to 2.0, with most athletes shooting for that 1.5. That's at least a really good starting point. So that's my overall, how much protein should you have per day. Now, just to get a little bit more specific, we are going to talk about protein, kind of periodizing our protein, like when we should have it. But I just want to make a note about female athletes, that's going to have a little bit of crossover to when we should have our protein for another challenge day. But for female athletes specifically, athletes that are going through through postmenopause. So as your hormones start fluctuating, start kind of going kind of crazy, and as you hit menopause, and as you are in menopause, your hormones have come to very low lying levels. This is where protein is even more important, because as a female athlete in general, as a through postmenopause athlete, we really need to make sure that because of our sex hormones or our lack of sex hormones, we need to make sure that we are increasing our protein to hit what we call the leucine threshold. Now, for our plant-based athletes, you're going to have less leucine, because leucine is really found in dairy products. So unless you're plant-based that has some dairy, like maybe if you're a ovo vegetarian or just a lacto vegetarian, you're still going to be okay. But anyone who's truly plant-based, vegan, you're not doing any dairy products, you're going to be lower in leucine unless you're doing a branched chain amino acid supplement, or you're doing a protein powder, a vegan protein powder that does have branched chain amino acids added to it. As long as you're having those branched chain amino acids added to it, you're going to be okay. But the goal is 3 grams of leucine per day. Most products don't break out the branch chains into specific numbers. Some will say, it's good when they do. The most I've seen is 2.4, 2.5 per scoop of protein powder. And so as long as you're eating more foods throughout the day, you should probably hit that 3 gram threshold. But this is just to say, if you are a female athlete, or I guess only females will be in that through postmenopause, but just a female athlete, or if you're starting to find the hormones are fluctuating, you're having some issues with hormones, and or you are in menopause, you need to hit that 3 grams of leucine per day, which means you have to really be intentional to be hitting around 30 grams of protein per meal, because that will allow you the best opportunity to hit that leucine threshold to maximize your body's ability to build muscle and maintain muscle. Because, well, you may not know this, but as we age, so as we go into our 30s and our 40s and beyond, we will lose muscle mass each and every year, and men included. Because of testosterone, they do maintain their muscle mass much more easily than females do. But so for females, this is an important point for you guys. When you're thinking, how much protein do I need per day? You need at least the 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram per day. Ideally, you're going to get kind of even doses of protein spread throughout the day, thinking at least 30 grams per meal. That gets you to, that's 90. So right there, you're almost there. If you're a very light female, calculate out, maybe you only need to do 25 grams per meal. But again, if you're not doing either a protein supplement or a branched chain amino, a BCAA supplement, make sure you're thinking about adding that in, just because you really do need to hit that leucine threshold to maximize muscle, the ability to make muscle and maintain muscle. Okay, so let me know, you guys, if you have any questions on how much protein you need per day. If you're of a special circumstance, you know, just shoot it into the questions. Let me know what your questions are. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the protein challenge day 2 so far. And that's it. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.